Mujahid, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Terry.
Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
I'm going to take advantage of today's situation and pose a question and let our viewers understand that on your way here, you had an accident, cut your hand, and needed stitches.
Yes, that is correct.
So I'm going to take advantage, seize the moment, as they say, and ask you, we all have accidents, and sometimes it's our fault, and sometimes it's somebody else's fault, and sometimes it's nobody's fault. But things happen to us as something happened to you today. How do you process that?
Well, that's interesting because I think the way I would process this is I will pause first and foremost. Try not to react to whatever is happening, or examine that reaction if there is a reaction, and basically examine that reaction and try not to react further. Be aware of that pain and ask yourself, what is this? What is this pain? Who is feeling this pain? And look into that.
Wow, that's a pretty deep trip.
Yeah.
But all of those questions are in order, and I think all the time. You've put your finger on something that's, I think, very important, which is to try to gauge your first reaction to something, because everything seems to cascade after that. So I think that's a really valuable insight. Do you think this works just as well on emotional pain as it does on physical pain?
I think everybody has their own hang-ups, and everybody has to assess themselves. So it could work for different people in different ways. So for me, in my case, I would say it depends on the gravity of what I think is causing that emotional pain. If I think if I believe too much in that emotional cause, or whatever is causing that emotional pain, let's just say an impending lawsuit, or that's for me something...
Some unfortunate piece of destiny.
Yes, exactly. Then it's harder. It's a bit harder to process that and to ask the right questions. What do you think?
I think you're right. It's often more difficult because things like that, emotional issues, are less spontaneous or immediate than something like hurting your hand and needing stitches. And because of that, it's easy to try to anticipate and try to project all sorts of feelings and things onto issues that are emotional that really may not be called for and may be completely false.
That is correct.
And it goes back to what you'd said about the importance of gauging your first reaction, of seeing things as they unfold and stopping yourself and saying, what's happening? I think that's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.